So in 2019, you stepped down as CEO of IT Cosmetics, and you sold it famously to L'Oreal for $1.2 billion back in 2016. But your story, it doesn't start there. It started way back. Take us back to when you were bagging groceries and waiting tables at Denny's. In the middle of this entrepreneurial journey, you faced what you call some crazy, painful rejection along the way. Tell us what that was like.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that. Thank you. Because a lot of people just see the end result. They're like, oh, Denny's Waitress builds billion-dollar company. And it seems like, oh, did she get lucky or something like that? And, the real journey, the real story behind the story is years and years and years of, not just 100-hour weeks, but hundreds of rejections and rejection after rejection after rejection. And many, many years where I literally, George, I didn't know, are we going to go bankrupt at any moment? And are we going to make it? And, when I look back at the journey, I had this sort of big dream. It started with a problem of my own I was trying to solve, which was I have a skin condition called rosacea. Couldn't find anything else out there to work that would work for me. And I didn't know anything about this industry that I was about to enter. I didn't have any connections in the beauty world and I didn't have any money, but God put this dream on my heart and I couldn't shake it. And I was working as a news anchor and I just kept getting this feeling, that still small voice, right? That we all get. And I just felt like, oh gosh, I've got to listen to this. And I felt it in my soul, but my head talked me out of it for a long time where I was like, oh, but you're not qualified. You don't, what if you lose every penny you have, like all those things. But I eventually just decided to trust it. And on my honeymoon flight to South Africa, wrote the business plan with my husband, came back, we both quit our jobs and sort of dove all in. And from the moment we launched this little business with this big dream in our living room, we poured every penny we had into the product. And I just thought, George, okay, if we make a product that actually works, it's just going to sell. If it's that good, it's just going to sell. And maybe other entrepreneurs listening can relate to this, but I did not know what I did not know. And from that day forward, it would be over 3 years before we could afford to pay ourselves at all.
Wow.
And all of these sort of retailers I put up on pedestals that I used to spend my Denny's tip money, shopping in their stores, the big beauty stores, the big department stores. When I'd send them the product, every single one of them said no. And it was hundreds of no's. And I had a dream of going on QVC and they said no for years. And I had one potential investor that I thought was going to actually save our company. And he said no. And this was years in because he didn't think that women would buy makeup from someone who looked like me with my body and weight. So it was no's for so many reasons. But in that journey, I just kept having this feeling that I couldn't shake. And I think what happens, George, is so many people, we have no proof as entrepreneurs. We often go through these seasons where we have no proof around us that we're right or that there's a demand for our product or that our idea is and our gut feeling is right when everything's going wrong. And we give up and we quit. And sometimes it's after one no or 10 no's or 20 no's. And building this company, and we built to over 1,000 employees and eventually the largest luxury makeup company in the country. But in the journey, I did a lot of things wrong. And when I look back, one of the things I did right was every time I got another no and another rejection and another sort of blow and another you don't have what it takes or you're not the right fit, they were painful. And there was times I cried myself to sleep and my family would be like, you haven't paid yourself in 3 years? Like nothing? Did you really quit your job to do this? You have everyone else's doubt getting so loud. But when I'd pray about it and get still, I just had this knowing, this feeling I was supposed to keep going. And I think listening to that still small voice, which we all have the ability to access. I think when we do that, it can not just change our business and our journey as entrepreneurs, but it can change our entire life. So Our real story is a story about overcoming rejection and listening to that knowing over all the no's happening all around me.